Kept hearing her huffing and puffing, just sitting next to me being like, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, somebody did something. I don't know what just happened, but I don't think that was good. So right when I didn't think it could get any worse, it could get any more uncomfortable between the two of us, this fucking white dude comes on who evidently discovered Elvis. And he's like 190. I was looking for a white boy that could take the down and dirty, nasty blues and combine it with the pristine, angelic sounds of bluegrass. Yeah, that's what he was doing. He was subtly putting black shit down here while he was propping up the white shit. You know, the down and dirty, daddy not sticking around, drug-infested neighborhood blues with the Jesus as white as me, hair the color of the sun, angelic bluegrass playing music, right? So at this point, my wife has like fucking steam coming out of her ears. So I make a judgment call. I would begin to an argument. I'm like, ugh. All right, you know why? Because not for nothing, there was some black people in there saying some shit that I didn't agree with. You know? I'm not huffing and puffing. Yeah, I said that. Like a fucking idiot. And she just looks at me, she's like what black people? Like what black people that said what? And at that point, it's like you started the luge, right? You can't get off the fucking sled. Now you gotta have the argument. I'm like, fuck, here we go. Guess we're having this. And I'm like, all right, kid in Santa Monica came up with that, man. So she starts laughing. And I should have stopped there, but I'm a comedian, right? I'm like, oh, I'm getting a laugh. There's gotta be a bigger laugh. So keep going, Bill. Let's come with another example. So I'm like, yeah, do I get mad at you when you fly from LA to New York in under 6 hours? And she just, yeah. She just stares at me. She's just like, that was fucked up. I was like, yeah, I know. It sounded good in my cul-de-sac. It really is going to be okay. And come up with that painful, beautiful music. You can't do that. Next thing you know, you're clapping on the fucking downbeat. You're playing a washboard, right? James Brown is line dancing. All goes out the window. So you got to make a choice. Either you learn how to fly and your music sucks.
Huh? Zippitydoodah.com?
You got it.
Huh? You motherfucker.
That's
you
it.
have me on your show and you start trashing my DVD?
You're a sensitive man.
Bill, thanks so much for being here. I love this show. You're one of my favorite comedians. I'm excited to talk to you.
Well, I'm excited to be here. These chairs are horrific. This is designed for like, I don't know what age. It's not like 6 to 8. Like when you're 11. This is like the perfect size. It's not quite adult size. It's not kid size.
You know, obviously you're a writer, but you've never really written on a sitcom before. If you go through your credits, you hadn't really been on a show before.
Why'd you have to bring that up? Just right out of the gate, it goes negative. Never really saw you write on anything before, Bill. There was all these other nice things on your IMDb page I could have brought up, but I noticed this one glaring thing that you've never done, and right out of the gate. Was it because I made fun of the chairs? I'm sorry.
Here in the Emily Fan Cave hanging out with actor-comedian Bill Burr.
I like that you said actor.
See, you did so bad, one of our guests is about to quit. I don't know what else to tell you.
Oh, if there's a negative lining, Tony will find it. There it is, right between the ray of sunshine. There's that little nugget of negativity, you fucking cunt. Smarmy fucking cunt. Jesus Christ.
If we went to a movie together, would we sit next to each other? Would you want a seat between us?
You know, oh, Jesus.
Because that's a tough
I'd want to sit like 9 rows behind you and just...
You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah,
It's funny when you said we win, I'm like, did we really win? But I understand what you're saying. Now,
is that African-American thing?
Yeah.
I don't want to alarm you, but I don't think that... Overpowering.
How you doing?
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie.
No.
The background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this?
Where you guys from?
We live here.
You live here. How the hell did you end up here? Long story. Shifty. Felonies?
Yes.
Is that a Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No, guarantee you. Blonde hair, you'd be over here giving me your watch.
This is the only way you can be comfortable in these fucking chairs. This is like in the middle of my back. Oh my God, I love you, but I hate this set. This is the lowest budget shit. You know what it is? It's the rent. It's the fucking rent. You did all this stuff. You should get rid of that camera and get some chairs.
What kind of chair would you prefer?
Comfortable, adult-sized chair.
You want me to be a suspect me for that?
No, I don't. Your big dumb desk hiding behind your microphone.
I respect you for keeping it real, Colin.
Yeah, I kept it 100.
What about when you call somebody out and then have them in front of you? That's punk. Can't do
No,
that.
but then you can actually just admit that you're wrong when the guy's delivering, because now he's delivering, he's still trashing.
Well, yeah, he's not admitting that he's wrong.
Before you
Yeah.
jump in.
Yeah. Here he
Yeah,
comes.
get in the middle, two studs.
Here comes homeschool. Look, he's got on buckle shoes.
I know.
I bet he made those. He went to one of those little house in the prairie schools where, like, the person.
But I fucking Bill.
I'm
You know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing that I don't know about the chain if it's thick enough to be that level of confidence.
Yeah,
but it's more of a necklace.
When the chain's out,
He has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around his fucking neck.
Well, I just hate the Jets, straight up. Being a Patriots fan, I hate their whole slogan, play like a jet.
Play like a jet?
Play like a jet. Why would you say that? They haven't won in like 50 years. Why don't you play like a Patriot?
Fight a lot over television, you know, so I don't know. I've kind of come her way, she's come my way. She watches a little bit of sports. You know, I occasionally will watch like a romantic comedy, which, you know, I don't care. You know, the nerd's going to fuck the cheerleader. I'll watch it, right? I don't mind them. It's an uplifting story. I just don't like the love scenes in romantic comedies. They creep me out. They're just so fucking nice. It's like missionary style. There's candles. That stupid sack out. They're just so fucking nice. It's like missionary style. There's candles. That stupid saxophone music. It always goes down. Like the saxophone implies the penetration, right? Because they can't show it. They got to make her this one-dimensional, this little angel. They ignore the other 90% of her sexuality. No hair pulling, no ass slapping, none of that shit. None of that taboo stuff. Remember the first time a woman wanted to get me to like choke her a little bit? I didn't even know what she was doing. I was just so psyched to be getting laid. I was just trying, and she just kept taking my hand and she kept putting it like right here. And then I didn't know what she was doing. I thought she was like testing my core strength or some shit. I was just like. And finally, I was just like, what are you doing? She's just like, I don't know, just kind of like, you know, like squeeze a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of like.
Sure as shot? Jesus Christ, what a piece of shit. You should just tear it down and start over again. Yeah. I have a temper. So that's the thing. That's what kind of ruins things. Everything else I do is fine, but I have a fucking temper, and it just ruins shit. And then my wife always says the same thing. She's always just like, I just don't understand. Where did that come from? Where is that coming from? It's you just go from 0 to 100 in 2 seconds. It's like, first of all, I idle at 75 miles an hour. All right? So don't give me this 0 to 100. And they're like, Afterwards, I ran upstairs to my top bunk. My dad knew he fucked up, to his credit. He came up, he tried to smooth it over. He's like, all right, come on back down. It's over. Come on down, enjoy the holiday. And I'm like, no, I don't want any kids. I fucking hate you. Right? He eventually coaxed me down, you know. He softened up a little bit. Look, you don't get your fucking ass back downstairs. No one else can open that gift. I'm moving out. I said moving out. I go back downstairs all shell-shocked. A little over 2 years old. She's yet to meet me yet. You know? Like the real me. She's seen glimpses of me. I come, hey, how are you? She's seen glimpses of the anger, but I'm able to smooth it over really quickly. Like, whoa, Daddy almost snapped his phone in half. But I see it in her face. I can see the way she looks at me. She's starting to put it together like, this dude's a little fucked up, man. This is a little fucked up. I cannot tell you how heartbreaking that is to see from a top. Leaps out the window. It dies, you know? So I've been fucking trying everything, you know? I tried, you know, I don't know, I meditating, wearing sweaters. I did that for a while. Like if I dressed like a regular guy, I'd be one. I drew a smiley face on a Post-it and stuck it on my dashboard. Like that was gonna help with my road rage. You know, driving down the street like, you motherfucker! I guess I've done that too. Thank you, Smiley. Sitting there playing with a rubber ducky, sticking my toe in the faucet. Right? Not allowed. Not allowed to be that happy. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna go back to therapy, do that fucking bullshit again. Fast forward through all these stories I've told a million times. I gotta do it though. I'm gonna do it for my kid and do it for my wife. And selfishly, do it for me. Because, no, I'm gonna tell you why. You're not gonna like the results, miss. I look so fucking exhausted. You know what I mean? They're just with the war paint and the circle tits, just trying to fucking tuck it in and fucking like an athlete at the end of their career, just trying to limp out on the field one more time. They're not as fast as they used to be. It reminds you of your own mortality. It's just like, ladies, just fucking sit down, put on something flowing. I'll put on a sport coat. We'll be in bed by 8:30, right? We're fucking old, you know? So we realized that, I don't know, we always fight about the television. So I'm like, well, what about documentaries? Why don't we just tape something we both... So, where do you go from there? Well, as I mentioned last time I came through town, I wanted to get a gun. Yeah, I do. Yeah, but I finally given up on that. I gave up on that dream. My wife doesn't want me to get one, so yeah, she didn't want to. You got to pick your fucking battles. I'm gonna learn how to fly a helicopter on the sly. I can't fucking have some 357 hanging around. I'm doing whatever I want. All right? When I say go, eat it. Right? Can't be that person. You laughing at that, sir? That's not enough. I don't know. I'm down south. What do you think? That's not enough, right? You want you shotgun, right? 44. You guys are out of your minds. You're out of your fucking minds. Let me ask you, all you gun guys, right? Who are gonna make fun if I had a 22? What's with your 22? That little queer gun? Do you keep it between your buttocks? Is that the holster? Is that what you do with your gay little gun? Fucking glasses, right? You look at your spread or whatever, and then you put it back in there, right? You ever shot that thing without fucking earplugs? Because that's what's going to happen when that intruder comes in. You're not going to have time to be, hang on a second, let me just yeah, you're not going to have time. Dude, I shot a 5-shot 38 one time without earplugs. Okay, I was landscaping this guy's yard, right? He comes out at the end of the job, he goes, hey, I got this 5-shot 38. You want to go out car? Okay? Jesus Christ, can we agree on that? So I'm like, all right, let's do it. Fuck it. So I go down there. Never shot a gun before. I bring the gun up. I pointed at the car. I pull the trigger. I saw the muzzle flash. I felt the kick. I never heard the gun. I pulled the trigger. All I just heard was, I shot the gun 4 more times. Never heard it. Didn't get louder. These people that has like the gun here and the bullets there. You got the thing fucking loaded, ready to go. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. This is when the psycho's coming in too, right? That's when they come in. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay, they don't come by at like 6:30 at night as you're cutting into a pork chop. Hey, I'm out of my mind. I'm coming back in 20 minutes. So stretch out your hammies because it's going to get crazy, right? That's not how it works. They wait till you're dead asleep. 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, right before REM sleep is kicking in. What's the matter? What? Huh? Oh, you hear something? What's the matter? What are you barking for? He's shaking. What's the matter? Huh? You hear something? What's...
Huh?
A roll.
No, I'm bald.
No,
I'm
but
going bald.
I know, but but you still had some stuff residue of hair.
Residue? Yeah.
Yeah, you had residue. You know what I mean? You could have done a Chernobyl thing that you were doing, but yeah, but you didn't. You just had to shave it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Are we going right now?
No, we don't. There's no rules. But I'm just asking you a question.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna answer.
I understand that, but why are you? Your head looks. Yeah. What? Is that the? That's fine. You're Bill Burr, but.
I'm trying to answer your question.
Yeah, go ahead. I just
process of you coming out of the gate shitting on me.
Yeah.
You know, when you start to lose your hair, you got 3 options.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
And there's subsets to all of them.
All right.
Okay, you can do the Rogaine, the hair plugs,
right.
the system. I love how you came at me aggressive, and now you're going. You got your pick. his little panda hands.
I love how you attacked my little panda hand.
That's what you look like. You look like a little panda.
I know. I was just because when you took your hat
like
off,
a little adolescent bear.
I was actually texting with Bill when I was, I was going through my recent problems.
What, when you were coming blood?
No.
Gun in the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
No, when
he started spewing blood a little bit.
Trouble, they call me Yanni Nets on the show because they.
Further. Let's get clear.
Kid moves fucking
I mean,
tickets.
the kid's fucking barely selling out bananas.
Yeah, I sold it out once and I haven't been since I put down the wig. I haven't been asked back.
I got asked to give money back to cops in San Francisco. That's how bad I did.
Oh, I got sent home. I got sent home. Punchline Sacramento. I just, hey, Bill, come on in the office. I'm like, oh, they're really impressed with my new hour. They're like, yeah, Bill, Sunday ain't happening. We're gonna send you home. How would you like to get on a plane right after your show? I got one of those.
Yes. Yeah.
I got demoted from headliner down to feature act the first time I headlined at the Trop in fucking Vegas. The chick I was seeing, I flew her out to see me my big headlining. Oh yeah. And the way you love a child and your idea what they are, I mean, give the guy a minute to fucking process it. Where it's just like, if I just met that, I just don't see how putting the guy in prison is going to, solve, like he's going to go to jail and be like, oh, now I'm open-minded.
Now I got it.
Now I'm empathetic. I get it. There's something about coming in here and having to make a shank out of my toothbrush and try not to get raped in the ass that I now understand this.
We discovered that there's
It's the weirdest story anybody's ever said on the podcast. I get it. There's something about coming in here and having to make a shank out of my toothbrush and try not to get raped in the ass that I now understand this.
We discovered that
It's the weirdest story anybody's ever said on the podcast. That made me uncomfortable.
From the beginning, too.
No, it's the serial killer tone of his complete lack of emotion.
Thank you. Can I tell you something?
This happened.
Yes. Yeah. You know what? And I know Bill.
I didn't miss out.
It did actually.
Were you frustrated that you knew you had no control over the love that you had for your wife? So then you were starting to feel trapped.
I think it was more of
I like that.
I didn't know how to express how good I felt. So I thought
no.
Yeah.
No. He really just tried. He tried to play dim-witted there.
Yeah.
No,
See, that's the problem. I fell
cold,
for it.
Calculated.
Yeah.
You're everything you need to be to make in this business.
Yeah.
You just can't be creative and just be floating around like, oh, that tickles my artistic calculated.
Yeah.
You're everything you need to be to make in this business.
Yeah.
You just can't be creative and just be floating around like, oh, that tickles my artistic fan.
There's an idea.
The chocolate one and then do the green one.
I
and
will.
Then you'll be fine.
I'm excited.
I will.
Yeah.
But you gotta not order.
I'm telling you, then you
I'm
just start,
excited for
if you
that
start
smoothie
eating well, the fat has nowhere to hide. It just doesn't.
Right.
It's just over.
All right, you come back on this show, and I'm going to be skinny, and I'm going to call it the where I got a personal trainer, and she's like, I want you to eat high-fat ground beef, cheese, avocado. I was like, are you sure this is going to make me lose weight?
Yeah, and then what?
It's like the no.
Yeah,
well,
you shit out of fucking.
I was like,
what's your blog?
I was like, what are you talking about?
No, it's like
what is
all
that?
of
That's the
keto.
I think that what they do is a lot of those personal trainers. What they have is they have down to a formula how to have you do a Biggest Loser. That just goes too far.
Yeah, I think we all can understand.
Just take a handful of raw bacon and dunk it in butter juice and then suck that down. It's just like, all right, you sure? Everything was a lie that you were told. It's just like, all right, it's just like. This is either 100% right or I'm going to Jonestown. So that might, and I don't know anything about that diet, but I found what I've been doing has been working from you.
Okay,
so
I like
try it out.
Yeah. It's
get yourself a
being a healthy, reasonable human being diet.
Where it's like
balls shriveling up.
Yeah, all that.
You can go between the legs a little easier that year.
Yeah, my balls.
With the anxiety.
But it was just the way to communicate.
I love that you felt at Division III. I got to get on roids. I need a competitive edge here.
Yeah,
we got to beat LaSalle Academy next week.
Yeah,
when you can talk about, oh, can you believe this guy said that about someone on a podcast, and it just becomes like
you know.
Yeah. My rule became you guys don't have this luxury. You have to have discipline and
What do you stick in your butt when you jerk off?
You
can't brush over that. Yeah, bad
scripts he didn't like.
People's dreams. People's dreams. I'm really fancy. I'm like a Sam Shepard play.
Do you take those little brass clips out of there before you do it, or is that an added Christmas bonus for you?
People's dreams. Yeah. A Sharpie pen, Jim Norton. A Sharpie pen.
Have you really?
Yeah, I tried it because I read a Playboy article about the. The pen is the thing that got dirty, not me.
Cap on or cap off?
It was the end. That's why I picked it.
Shit,
I was
like an octopus afterwards.
I don't want that.
Where'd it go?
Squirting ink.
The cap is designed to be like a grappling hook. You wouldn't want to actually put that up there.
Just hooks on.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you always learn. That's why
It's
you
like
got to
a
come out to
harpoon.
LA, Jim. You got to learn shit out here.
But
so a pet, did you like it or did you not like it?
Well,
free food, free rent, and everything else, man. Here's the deal, man.
Is that from your show?
No, I'm just fascinated by that guy. That's about as free as it gets. I mean, he just doesn't care if his mother sees that or. I mean, he knows.
Free is a good word.
He knows what he wants. Is that a bow in his hair? Or is that just some shit in the background?
I think that's the background.
Dude, he gave out his
Do you want
address.
free rent though? Like you get free rent, you get free food.
The reason why he's alone is
he's a hot cum dumpster.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on.
Doesn't he have enough pain in his life? He's got to be on this show too. You know what I mean? That wasn't like low hanging fruit. That was actually. If you did that in a movie, if that was the character, you would be nominated because that was an amazing performance. I actually, what I was kind of addicted to was his cake one.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a fancy, really fancy one.
Please, it's on me. You can fucking throw it. You try it out.
Is this how you handle your relationships when people? Should have bitched about something bigger.
Yeah.
Fucking hate my car. You just sit there, I'm gonna get you a car.
Now you've been with your lovely wife for how long? How long you guys been together?
I don't know, like 14, 15 years.
It's fucking it's a good run.
I love her more than ever.
Oh, see,
she's the best.
I'm fucking happy.
She's the best.
It's nice.
I know.
It's refreshing.
You know what's funny is they if you switch their hair, they could be each other. They look just like each other.
Robert Kelly's and all that, they all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
you know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing that I don't know about the chain if it's
Yeah.
thick enough to be that level of confidence.
Yeah, Robert Kelly's and all that, they all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
you know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing that I don't know about the chain if it's
Yeah.
thick enough to be that level of confidence.
Yeah,
it's more of a necklace.
When the chain's out,
he has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around his fucking neck.
No, I say guy when the chain's out.
Yeah, when the chain's out. Yeah, but he does make a good point. It's not really a chain. It's more of an ankle bracelet down a big
Well,
girl.
yeah, my kid's mom was like, why are you wearing women?
You're
full
screaming,
volume
full
shouting.
like right
Will
now.
it hurt my voice to do
Of course, yes.
A
it's
little bit.
painful.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not fun. Neither of these are going to be fun.
But you have to go like the phone.
Hello.
Yeah, like that. You always you say everything in that range.
Yeah, and your stand-up too.
I found a loophole.
What's the loophole?
I would just ignore people.
Oh,
so then I wouldn't have to talk to them, and then I just wait till they say my name 10 times, then I'd be like, "What?" So you're gonna have to do the purchase.
He can't whisper during the movie.
Yeah, he can. He can shout it.
It's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah, definitely. He could do it.
I think the wife did it. You get some more popcorn?
Yeah, but I actually, because that would be fun. Once my wife was into it, I would just be totally quiet. Yeah.
And your act.
having sex.
You like that? You feel so good.
It would wear on my head.
But if you run everywhere, you'd be in great shape.
There you go.
And you can maintain your human relationships.
Yeah, you wouldn't yell at
But
anybody.
it's as simple as like you have to go piss in the middle of the night.
Yeah, no, but I would be miserable. I would start yelling at people because your body can't take that.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot.
Yeah, but you get used to it. What do you mean? You become in fantastic shape.
That's right.
I used to say.
I thought you were start singing a song right there. That would have been perfect.
You think so?
The Louis Changed the World song.
I had this really bad habit from a lot of stuff, and it was like, oh god, like, that really
the
like
thing
woke me
about
up.
gay though, it's like it used to mean happy, and I was really happy, right?
Sure.
And you never heard them complain when it got hijacked. Like the really happy people didn't like protesting. People like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That word used to mean we're really enjoying our day. Well, you guys turn around and
brutal are those piano solos. For guys like you and me to sit, like when you see people in tuxedos, I was talking about on the podcast last week.
The whole thing.
All right.
It's like exercise. You got to do it every day. You release your resentments every night. I write out who I'm mad at and who I'm holding resentment towards on my little app.
How's it working
It's,
out?
you know, it's going pretty well.
You are fucking wound tight. You are fucking. You know what? I never noticed. I don't think I hung out with you because we're always at the fucking store and we
You
talk
don't
for
know
like
this
10
about
minutes.
me.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I would not want to make you mad.
No. Benton had to see it.
I have the inside scoop, and I think that that all people do that, including these so-called woke people.
Can I give you the prognosis of my asshole though first?
I would love to know about the prognosis of your asshole. I've heard enough election talk. Let's talk about your rectum.
So I mention it, right? And they go, "Oh, we got to go to the doctor." I went over there today, and my doctor, Dr. Kawashiri. Can I say his name?
Good.
Yeah. Maybe start.
Does he specialize in Asians?
I mean, with a last name like that.
You know what's weird? He could. He could because
I go to my doctor, Dr. O'Houlihan. He specializes in cirrhosis of the liver.
Yeah. Maybe I should switch it up.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get a black doctor or something.
Yeah.
It seems.
Could you be a little more woke and maybe
yeah.
go to another race for your doctoring?
And
what did you do first?
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting. I think I fucking
I just thought that was going to get a laugh.
No.
I thought it was a ridiculous question. Josh, you're going to break it. He just goes, oh, that's interesting.
No.
I thought that was
interesting. You know, because
I can't believe you're going to answer this.
A normal person would have taken the pants off first and then bend over.
Yeah.
But what you just said was, I did bend over first. And then took
this.
A normal person would have taken the pants off first and then bent over.
Yeah.
But what you just said was, I did bend over first and then took my pants off.
Wow. Right? Of course you did. That's so fucking weird. Oh my gosh.
And I bent over, and there was that moment where the doctor goes, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
What are you doing? Right? And I go, I know how it works. This is the way I do it. Right? So I bent over. Then
I like it.
This is the way I do it. Right? So I bent over. Then
I like it. You made it weird back.
Yeah. I reversed it on
You
him.
took control of the weirdness. I like it. Now he's weirded out.
Right. And he goes,
what are you waiting for, big boy?
You know what I heard about you guys? Actually, by the way, I've been over here for a week, and as an American, I got to say something. You guys are pretty fat, too. Specifically the men. I don't know what's going on with the men, but I don't give a fuck how fat you get. You're going to pour yourself into your skinny jeans. They still got them. It's like just...
No. When I first came to the city, like, all black people scared me. No, I was like the typical white dude from, like, the suburbs, you know what I mean? I had no frame of reference, you know? So my only frame of reference with black people was like, remember those early 90s gangster rap videos? Throw the fucking LA riots in there, man. It was fucking horrible PR. I'm watching the videos. Look, he's got a nice car, he's got all the women, and he's still fucking mad. These black dudes are never happy. But after 10 years of... When I see the street, I want to go up. I want to go up St. Nick. I can literally see her apartment building, but there's like 5 or 6 black dudes standing right on the corner, right where I want to walk by. So I'm like, fuck! Thought I was on like some reality show at that point, like some sort of like white guy survivor. It was ridiculous. So I'm thinking, I got to walk right by these guys, right? You know what's funny? I think that they were actually more surprised to see me than I was scared, you know? And
All right, so judging by most of your silence, I will do this math for you. Come on. Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. All right? Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what the fuck. That lack of estrogen just yanking down your fucking dreams. Now look, it might be a front. I'm not saying all gay guys are just blissfully happy, but it's looking like a pretty good time to me. Dude, they're some of the most positive people I've ever met in my life. Any idea you have, they support it. They're just like, yes, yes, queen, yes, you're fierce, you can do it. Lesbians are up at the bar like a person that actually picks it up and takes it out to the curb at night and puts it in the trash can, right? My wife's hilarious, man. I love her, but she's got some of the worst excuses ever. I'm like, why don't you ever take out the trash? She goes, I would, I'm just afraid of coyotes. I'm afraid of the coyotes. It's like, so am I. So am I. They're rabid dogs. They hunt in packs of 2s and 3s. You don't do it, to tell you what to do with your body. So that always made sense, all right? However, I still think you're killing a baby. See? That's where it gets weird. Like, I sit on the fence and the whole thing makes sense to me. Whatever anybody's saying, like, don't tell me what to do. It's my body, my choice. That's right, man. She's right. Leave her the hell alone. Oh, you're killing a baby. Well, I mean, there is that. You know? I mean, you know, if we're going to be honest, that is the whole purpose of the procedure. It's been 30 degrees out. Animals are going extinct. There's plastic in the fucking ocean. We don't need any more fucking people. And especially, you know, if you're honest with yourself, have you done anything great with your life? Is the person you're banging doing anything great? The answer to both of those questions is no. What are the odds you're going to make a great person?
People did this shit? I remember this one poor woman said she was a PA, went into some director's trailer, and he allegedly came running out, masturbating vigorously while holding a shrimp cocktail. I swear to God. I know that's fucked up, but I gotta tell you something. It's a little bit funny that she felt the need to use the adjective vigorously after she said he was 10 minutes late, the chicken was cold, I think I was raped, career over. What about my side of the story? Fuck your side of the story. You have a dick and balls. We don't want to hear it. Yeah. It's really weird how the whole thing, it went from like nobody listening, men not listening to women at all, to just this total overcorrection that anything they fucking said means it happens, you know? They got these hashtags like, you know, believe women. Believe women. Just straight across the fucking board. All of them. Every last fucking one of them. What about the psychos? What about the ones that key your car and light your shit on fire because you didn't fucking answer a text? What about them? Huh? How about you believe like 88%? And that last 12% that's out of their fucking minds? You know, I think that's a fair percentage, wouldn't you? No? Are you too afraid to not believe? No, I know. That's the world we're fucking living in right now. National anthem. This is a protest about police brutality, the way people of color are treated. We'd like to open a dialogue. He got about halfway through and people are like, my brother's fighting in Iraq, you fucking piece of shit! It's just like, buddy, nobody is saying your brother isn't in Iraq fighting. You're not listening. This is about police brutality. My brother's a firefighter. He watched 9/11 on television. No, buddy. Nobody's saying that your brother's not a firefighter. I had a bone spur in my heel. I can still stand up during the fucking song. Buddy, nobody is saying you can't. All right? You're not listening. That's what it became. It went from not listening to women to just believe women, right? And then, you know, and then people just like, did you see that story? Did you read the story? You can't make something like that up. I always want to be like, well, did you see Star Wars? I mean, somebody made that up. They made like fucking 15 of them, you know? People can make shit up, right? You're part of the fucking problem. Get the fuck out, you know? No.
baby yet. That would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the fuck, you just ruined my birthday cake? And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. Well, it would have been if you didn't do what you just did. There would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a bitch. Right? No, I think I know. I think I know how to raise a kid. You know what it is? You just play catch with them. That's how you raise a kid. You play catch with them. You just talk about life. You distract them by throwing the ball. They don't even notice. You feel something bad, you feel bad, you know? Unless you're like a sociopath and you don't feel shit. Unless you got somebody duct taped upside down in your apartment, you know? And if you do something like that, I want you to feel like you can come to me, you know? Yeah, come to me, confess all of that. We'll go down to the precinct, we'll tell them everything. Yeah, I'm gonna turn you in. This isn't fucking Dexter. What are you, out of your mind? Let's have a little empathy here. Put yourself in a lesbian's shoes. Who do lesbians date? Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. Hey, what's that? It's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, I bought you the shiny thing. Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to get them to take responsibility for their actions. Not gonna happen. The best you're gonna get is I'm sorry, but I know what it's like to be winning a fucking argument. You're winning, and then they turn it around. They're crying. You're apologizing. You're thinking, what the fuck just happened? How am I losing this shit? I had you on the rope. You feel so dumb. You gotta go for a walk. And you're just thinking, how did I lose again? And then you figure it out. It makes you feel stupid. And then you see some bald idiot with a giant... People are, excuse me, you're supposed to say we're pregnant? You're supposed to say we're pregnant? It's like, well, I'm not a seahorse. So, I'm not fucking pregnant. My wife is pregnant. Look at her. She's putting on weight. Her feet are swelling up. You know, she's miserable. Fucking miserable. I'm still doing pull-ups. I'm crushing it. While being pregnant. I'm still drinking, smoking. Yeah. I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels, and she starts bitching, going like, I don't understand. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, I don't know. Why is that? That is a conundrum. I have no idea. Literally, I'm sitting at home screaming at the TV because you don't sell any fucking tickets. Nobody is going to women's soccer games. You're playing in a 20,000-seat arena. 1,500 people show up. That's not a good night. The promoter lost his fucking ass. You know, no, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy. He died of cancer. It was horrific. I could have lifted him up off the sheet with 2 fingers. It was horrible. Hey, enjoy. Oh, by the way, I got molested when I was 9. Enjoy the... No, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I think white women started it. At the mall, what happened? No, it's unreal. I'm really fucking annoyed how white women have the fucking balls to throw my white privilege in my face. You know? Sort of separate themselves from these white males with their white male privilege. It's like, bitch, you're sitting in a jacuzzi with me. The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, put your fucking whining. Look. There's a little caveat here, so you don't think I'm a complete asshole right out of the gate. All right, if you live...
Do you feel you were being disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
well, they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
I am not totally following.
SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
I am not totally following, but I don't think
you know what I'm talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
I came on.
That kid missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know. We were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you watch in the morning. It's great.
Yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July is a redhead. You know? I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it.
he changed the world. That's insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know. I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around here. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window. Their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof. Just... Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. Trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad.
Guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama's going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. Because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see? That makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking, that it's completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking... Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die, and I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that? Damn, look at dog. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology. You know, God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. This is how much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. I'm sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know. We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, you know, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some what are they going to do with the dog? They're going to take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, you know? Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I got to work on my temper, though. Something I really got to do. I let like the thoughts chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Oh, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile indie stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? Now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, that blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do? Call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. It's like what? You're hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. Yeah. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminists, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Ooh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. Hi, man, what's up? How you doing? Was this too quick a transition? You know what I mean? Like 9, 10 black dudes in a row and then like the whitest man on the planet. Let your eyes adjust. I was watching George Bush today, man. I don't want to be a dick or anything, but could that guy like rehearse before he gives a speech? You know what I mean? Just say it like a couple of times. How awful was he during that hurricane? He's just walking out, man. He's just, but you're 5 years old. There's no excuse for that shit. I'm telling you, man, that's the parents' fault. You know, stop feeding him. He doesn't have any money. You know, seriously. He can't go get a job so he can go buy more food. He's got to eat whatever you give him. Just put a plate of seaweed right in front of him. Go ahead, eat it. All right? Yeah, I don't pay attention to shit. I don't know what's going on, right? I feel like that. I mean, I kind of know what's going on. Like I know Gaza Strip, that's still going, right? Yeah, all right. Okay, that's going on. Well, did you pick a side? Who deserves to live more, right? I hate that shit. Well, these kids, they more line. I kind of know what's going on. Like I know Gaza Strip, that's still going, right? Yeah, all right. Okay, that's going on. Well, did you pick a side? Who deserves to live more, right? I hate that shit. Well, these kids, they more line up with our foreign policy than these kids over here. And I don't know. I don't know. How the fuck is war still legal in 2024? Can you the body shame? I mean, it's like, yeah, it is. I can't get the fucking pizza back. At least I can make him feel bad about himself, right? Yeah, I'm not allowed to do that, but it's still socially acceptable to shoot a missile in the general direction of somebody you're upset with. You're like, dude, there was like kids over there. This is my favorite response. Well, you know, they're using kids as human shields. It's off the grass, all right? There's fucking rules to this shit. I do think it's hilarious that college kids are all freaking out, you know, fucking supporting the Palestinians. How dare the Israelis do what our country has been doing for 20 years? What the fuck? You don't do that shit, we do. I didn't think Lance owed anybody, he didn't do anything to me. You know what he did for me? He raised $500 million for cancer research. That's what that lie did. Yeah, that was great. And everybody had the bands on. Remember the bands?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
That blocked out the sun,
Yeah.
right?
You know, it wasn't to block out the sun.
No risk cancer?
Yeah.
No, the whole thing was annoying, and I hated how Oprah was interviewing him and acting like this guy would do this. Like, she's been in show business for 35 years, and she can't, like, wrap her head around some guy doing whatever it takes to get to the next level. Didn't she, for the first 5 years, have, like, midgets who wanted to bang their mailman's boyfriend? And she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it, but she didn't have the power to say no, so she wrote it out. And then when she could make a good decision, she did a show. But she stood on the heads of those little people condoning what the man did. But, you know, there just needs to be, guys need to be educated. There's nothing out there to help a guy handle becoming rich and famous for that platoon of whores that's going to come over the hill. Like Braveheart, faces painted, skirt on, just running down the hill. Yes. There's nothing out there. No, it's like guys never learn how to keep themselves in check. Society.
Of all you guys get fucking carjacked, and they take out their big black dicks and they just shove them right in your fucking mouths, each and every one of you, and somehow they just keep repeatedly coming right in your fucking eyeballs until it builds up so much that your eyes they fucking crust over. You can't see shit, and somehow there's another dick in there for you to suck. 10 minutes left.
I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. Yeah, that's why I get the $1 more an hour. No, think about it. If there's a house fire, it's always women and children first. I got to stand there with like the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go. Like, he's chauvinistic son of a bitch. Little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not a dick, though. I'm not saying I think a woman should make $1 less an hour to do the same job. All I'm saying is if you're going to make what I... Yeah, because you want to have a drink and watch The Price is Right. I don't know. No, maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe it is. Maybe it is the most difficult job. I mean, I thought roofing in the middle of July is a redhead. You know? I thought that was a difficult job. But evidently, these mothers, they're bending over at the waist, putting DVDs into DVD players. I don't know how they do it. How do they change the world? That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Oh, get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys! Like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me! Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy! How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweat. Didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put in like a basket, it just poof, disappears. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. The fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones. We did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. Man. Oh, so I'm becoming totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win. Because they're in the process, they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see? You see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white... That Dog the Bounty Hunter video, or the phone message he left, you know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him. Some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like... Roadman, I actually spent so much time alone on the road, actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work, it comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it, roll the dice. Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, you know? Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. You know, because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, that's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak, right? I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm like, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? It's time to man up, man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on... It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. You know when you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, you know? So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're going to take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Come on, man. You know? More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Sexist. It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then goes, hey, I'm actually taking care of it. Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the up. I need a plumber in this moment. Up those hashtags, remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, it blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I going to do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I going to do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife become the next. I sucked at sports and then I banged Tom Brady and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. I knew it was going to be like this. You know what's funny? There's actually people out there that think a woman being president is actually a good idea. You know? Can you believe that? See that they do. Oh, they just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! But you can't say that. You got to keep her happy, right? So what do? You agree? Yeah, let's go to brunch. See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminist, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope.